Welcome to DK Champ. So I wanted to go back over my lineups and show you how they did the other night, and you'll see I had my best was 360, and I had several in the high 300s or mid 300s. So you can see here a couple, and then I had two tickets that I won here, another ticket, two more tickets. So I won several tickets, and then here was the big one, the dollar entry, did very well, and then another quarter entry for that 360, and all of these finished in the top three for that 360 lineup. And then the last one I had 284 and it scored. So all using those five guys that I put in that pick, and I hope that you all were able to cash in on this too. And I'll show you my lineups for tonight. So we'll go to the lobby, and tonight's slate is only a 3-game slate, so it's going to be a lot of people picking the same type people. So what I'm going to try to do is give you some of the big picks that I like, and then go down and give you some of the lower picks that could potentially have a good game. And I think that is kind of the way that I'm going to look at it. I've already made several lineups for tonight, just playing around with all these guys, because on these small slates, you can kind of play around with a bunch of different ones. So we'll go to utility, and I'll tell you about the guys that I like. So first, I like Harden. I think he is in a spot to do well tonight. This should be a back and forth game, tight game, and I like him. So Lillard, if McCollum is out, then I would play Lillard in 100% of my lineups. If he is not, if McCollum plays, I might limit it a little bit more because I think this is going to be a blowout game, and I don't want them to pull Lillard. But I think they will depend on him to put this game away if it really, if McCollum's not there. I don't really like the Boston team, so I very rarely play their players, and I'm going to skip over Kyrie for that reason. Gobert, I like him, and I like Capella. I think that'll be a good matchup between those two. I think both of them are going to play very well, and I probably would play both of them in my lineups. I like them a lot. Chris Paul, I probably play in one or two lineups. Donovan in a couple of lineups. Nurkic, I play in a couple of lineups when I don't have the other two centers. And Tatum, like I said, I'm going to fade. Cantor's also a decent pick if you're struggling a little bit. Same thing with Aiden if you need some salary relief, if you're trying to go with some of the big guys. So now we're getting down, and Tim Hardaway I think will be a good one to play. So now we're getting down to the guys that are going to be cheaper, and they could potentially produce for you. This is how I won the other night. I was playing some of the big names, and then I also played these middle tier guys that just really blew up, and I had a couple of sleepers that just happened to go off. So that's how that worked out. Melody, I think, should be decent for tonight. I'm not sure if he's gone up in price some, so that kind of scares me from him a little bit, but he will be in some of my lineups. Ariza always scares me. Ingles, not too fond of. Josh Jackson, I'll have a decent amount of exposure to, about half of my lineups. Aminu, I'd fade, scares me again. And then all these guys that are a little bit scary to me until you get down to Dotson. I think Dotson is a solid pick. I think he can easily reach his value, and for 48, he should be able to. Scrolling down, I think Knox is the same way. The only difference is Knox is coming off the bench. So I'm a little bit nervous with the New York guys. I'll just kind of reach in a little bit here. So the game that really is interesting is the Phoenix game, because we have so many guys that are potential starters that never get minutes, and they could potentially go off here in the amount of time that they're going to get versus the price. So the first one is going to be Holmes. He's been doing really well here recently, and that makes me want to play him. I think he's just going to continue through. I mean, just going to play through this. I know they've got their two best players out, and I think they're just going to play through and keep pushing. So that's why I like Holmes. Evan Turner, if CJ is out, then I'll be playing some Turner. If not, then I'm going to fade Turner altogether. Melton came in and blew it up last night, but who knows how that's going to work out. I'm not sure who will start there. I don't even know how to say his name. Akobo, I guess. He's been struggling a little bit, so I don't know if Melton just came in and took over that game. And if they continue to roll that way, Melton and Bridges could be really tough little tandem here. Bridges is going to be in the majority of my lineups anyway, which I think he'll be in a lot of people's lineups. And then Melton, it'll be the guy that nobody's going to pick up on. Everybody's going to go for a Kobo again, and Melton was the one that scored 30 points or I think it was 30 fantasy points or close to it. 34 fantasy points last week, or the last game. So we'll just have to see how that pans out. I'm not really sure. I'm probably going to take a risk and play Melton in a lot of lineups and fade a Kobo altogether. So we'll see how that goes. Keeping it going. The rest of these guys, I'm going to probably fade altogether. I don't really see a whole lot here. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with tonight. Let me know what you think. I'm hoping that I can put a couple of studs, a couple of mid-tier, and then a couple of low guys and really blow it up again tonight. Let me know what you think, and good luck.